All right, hello and welcome to the next video in the page makeover series. Now we're going to be talking about your profile pic. Your profile pic is important because it does help brand your business in your followers' news feed. Now, when you're posting to Facebook, every time you make a post, there is a small profile picture and the name of your page goes at the top of your post. So anytime that you post, the profile pic and the name are shown together. Now, it's really important as we go through this training to remember that that is how your profile pic is interacted with, let's say 95% of the time. I'm making that number up, but it's fairly accurate because most of the time when somebody sees your profile pic, they're seeing it in their news feed, not necessarily on the page itself. And what most people do is they create a profile pic that works on the page. So when you go visit the page and the picture is really nice and big, it works there. But then when it comes to actually, your followers seeing it in the news feed, it doesn't work as well. So we're going to talk about some of the things you need to keep in mind while you're creating your profile pic. I'm going to give you examples of profile pics that don't work out so well. I'm also going to show you some profile pics that do work well. And then below this video, you're also going to find a link to a Canva template for creating your profile pic, as well as a video showing you exactly what you should be doing with that template, how to use the template, basically. So even if you've never used Canva before, you can quickly and easily create a profile pic with that training and with that template. So let's just jump right into it. All right, I gotta click my screen here. There we go. Profile pic. Number one, use Canva to create your profile pic. A lot of people just try to upload. I have a picture, I have a logo, I have a headshot, and they upload that item directly to Facebook to be their profile pic. And unfortunately, this doesn't usually work because the picture isn't sized correctly and it may not even have the right background. There may be some things you need to do in order to make that image actually useful as a profile pic. So even if you think like, look, I've got the perfect thing, it's still a good idea to put it into Canva. And again, watch that training that's below this video that shows you how to use Canva so that you know that everything you want to be in that pic is there, in that profile pic is there. And I'm going to show you how to use that template to see exactly what it is your customers are going to see, so that your picture is designed appropriately. So first of all, just plan on using Canva and watching the video below this. The second thing to remember with your profile pic, and there are exceptions to this, and I'm going to show you examples of exceptions, but in general, leave text off of your profile picture. When your profile picture has text on it and it shrinks down really small in your followers' newsfeed, they can't read it. And sometimes it actually muddies up the image and makes it difficult to even see what it is they're supposed to see there because the text is muddying things up. And I'm going to show you again some examples of this. Like I said, there are exceptions, but pretty much anytime that you have text in a profile pic, it's going to be too difficult to read. When it gets really, really tiny, it's going to be impossible to read, and in fact, it can detract from the entire look of your profile pic. Number three, logos need to fit and be clear. So your profile picture is, if you have a logo for your business, that is the perfect time to use your logo, is right there in your profile pic. So it's got to fit though. If you have a very long logo, meaning that it's not square, it's not circular, it's more rectangularly shaped, that can be a problem with your profile pic. And in the training for the template below this video, for the Canva training, I'm going to show you how you can work around that. Generally, if there are visual aspects of your logo that do not need the words to complete, it's a good idea to just use those visual aspects. So if you have in your logo is a house, off to the side, and then the text of your logo is off to the right, you can completely cut the text out and just use the image of the house. Now, sometimes this isn't possible. The logo and the text is married together, but you want to make sure, if that happens, that the text that you are using is very, very large and not a lot of letters in it. I'm thinking of a particular logo off the top of my head, and I don't want to share the name of the company, but the name of the company is fairly short. And then they have an image on top of that, on top of their name, they have a bit of graphic design above that, and they'd be able to use that entire thing. Again, I'm going to show you some examples in the Canva template training below this. But what we don't want is just to upload a logo and have it cut off to the right, off to the left. It cuts off both sides. If your logo is not square or round, it's going to get cut off in weird ways. It may be that you cannot use your logo as the profile pic. And while that's ideal, if you have a logo, that's fine. We can get around it. Most people are not buying because of logos in the first place, but it does help you with some branding. And there may be some ways to actually use Canva to create something similar without it being exactly the same, so that you can still have kind of that visual consistency. But they do need to fit, and they do need to be clear. If it gets shrunk down really small and nobody can really make out what they're looking at, I like to call it mud. If it looks like mud, it's not going to work. It's not going to brand your business, and it will actually make you look very unprofessional and look more like a personal account, which is not what we want to accomplish. Number 4, if you are a professional that is selling yourself, you should definitely be using a headshot. So I'll give a couple of examples. If you are a real estate agent, if you are an insurance agent, if you are a financial advisor, those are times when you want to use headshots, because you're branding you more than you're branding the company that you work for. You're branding the relationship. You want to build a relationship with people that's more one-on-one. There isn't a team, there's not a company, and there isn't a product that should be taking more front stage than you. I help a lot of handmade sellers, and, they sell candles and they sell tie-dye t-shirts. So in those cases, I do not recommend that they use a picture of them, because the product that the people want is not the maker. They want the product itself. Now, we can use selfies and etc. in the post, but they want to be branding their actual business, not them personally. I would say that's also true if you do handyman or air conditioning or a plumber. Generally, you're going to want to use your company logo, because that is more appropriate in that scenario. You would not want to use a headshot if you are a plumbing company, because they may not see that person come to their door, and really what they're looking for is plumbing, not that personal relationship. But when it comes to real estate agents, financial advisors, it is a much more personal business. That's when you want to use your headshots. Does it pop? While you're picking your profile pic, you want to make sure that when it's shrunk down really, really small, is it popping? Is it popping off the page? And again, I'm going to show you some examples of that here in a minute. But you don't want it to look like mud. You don't want it to blend into the background. You don't want it to be confusing or actually actually turn people off by the way that it looks. So we want to make sure that it actually pops off the page. This may mean that you have to test a couple of different profile pics so that you can see what it actually looks like when it's shrunk down. I always tell people, go to your page, and instead of looking at the profile pic at the top of your business page, scroll down and look at how it looks next to the post itself. You've got the picture, you've got the name of your business, and then you've got the post. See how that profile picture looks. And I want to say one thing real quick about no text. I forgot to mention. A lot of people want to put the name of their business in the profile pic. One, it's not readable, but two, the name of your business is right next to it. They always come together. They're always there next to each other. So you don't have to try to cram it into your profile pic like, oh my gosh, if they don't see my name, they won't know who I am. Profile pic is always next to your business name. So it's perfectly fine. Trust me. And number 6, once you like it, leave it be. This is for branding purposes. If you're changing your profile pic every couple of weeks or every couple of months, then when you change it, your followers are going to feel like it's not you anymore. They're going to feel like it doesn't look right. Your posts don't look right to them. And they may actually end up skimming over your post because they don't recognize that it is from you. It's not that you can't ever change this, because I'm telling you to change it now, but try to stick with it for a long period of time. Change it, make sure it looks good. It's your logo, it's your headshot, everything looks good, and stay consistent with it. You can change your cover photo every week if you want to. You change it every day if you wanted to, but that doesn't, that's a little bit overboard. I do know people that will change it seasonally. That's fine for your cover photo, but your profile pic needs to stay consistent. Okay, so let's look at some examples. These are a bunch of bad examples that I have, and I want you to just notice how dark some of these are, how nondescript some of these are. We've got like a headshot. Well, we'll start at the top, Reynolds Design, and they put there in their profile pic, Reynolds Designs. You can tell how that's not very easy to read, and it would actually be even smaller than that on I blew it up. I made all of these are blown up and made bigger than what we normally would see on a computer screen or even a phone screen, how big those profile pictures actually are. There's text underneath of it. Can't read it. Can't read it at all. Here we have RHC, and you can see how dark this is. It's not appealing. These profile pictures are not appealing and trying to draw people in. Here is I guess we could call this a headshot, but this looks very much like just a very amateurish photo that somebody just took a snapshot of this person. And when it's next to Woodland Boutique, you can see how that's out of place. Like, it's a boutique. First of all, I don't know what they sell, but it says Woodland Boutique, and it's just this random picture of a woman. It looks very, very non-professional. And so if you are one of the ones that are going to use a headshot, get a proper headshot done. So yeah, get a proper headshot that looks really good and clean. And again, I'll show you some examples. Here again, it's pink. They have little lady impressions here, but it doesn't, you can't read it. Copen's Crochet, what is that a picture of? Can't read it. Boogie Baby Boutique, can't read it. There, I can kind of tell there's an elephant there, but again, this is way small. Josie's Goods, can't tell what that is. Seven Little Owls. Now this one isn't too bad in that if that is their logo, it's going to, it's the shape of it at least is going to help customers identify her. But I want you to see how absolutely unreadable that text area is. Whimsical Garden Art. She posted a picture of her item with tons of things in the back. It's very, very difficult to read. Jewelry Box Treasures. A piece of jewelry. You can see how it's cut off. And she has a busy background. Dirty Vegas Pierced Hearts. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I have no idea what I'm looking at. The red does help. Now this Red Queen Cakery, this is a really great one that shows how you don't have to have the text area, and it would make it much better. If she removed that text, which is absolutely unreadable, and then focused more on this caricature she has and made that bigger in the space, then that would be great branding. It's very clear. It has good contrast, but all of this text is absolutely unnecessary. Just make the caricature bigger, fill up the space, and then have the name of the business next to it. Here's another headshot one, Randy's Cakes and Cupcakes. Again, I want to see cakes and cupcakes here, not some random snapshot of somebody I'm assuming is named Randy with a cluttered background. So if you're doing headshots and things, make sure they're professionally done. And then this last one, dragonfly hooks. This is another great example that if they had just left the text out, this dragonfly pops, and it can pop all by itself without all of that text there. This one is one that I'd be like, all right, it's not perfect, but it's the best out of all of them. And I want you to see why. See how it pops more than any of these other ones could even hope to. So now let me show you examples of some good ones. And I shamelessly have a couple of mine in here. Here we have the Erie County, Ohio seal. This is I actually consulted with the county. They brought me in to help them with their marketing. Now you can see there's text on this, but the seal is very recognizable. That is their logo. The blue outline, we could have done it without the text on there, but this does pop for them. It's next to their name and it looks like an official seal. So that one works pretty well. The colors are good contrast, and even from the corner of our eye, it's eye-catching. This is my company, Happy Rabbit Toys. We did an orange background, simple bunny, put a little heart on it to represent that they're happy. And we kept it very, very simple. I actually made this into the logo after I decided to use it as a profile pic. So I'm like, that works well enough. But you can see the bunny. Even when it's shrunk down smaller, you can see the bunny. And the contrast between the white and the orange really makes it pop. Next we have Digital Marketer. This is an online marketing coaching program, something or another, and it has the two gears. I always like this one because it really, really pops. It stands next to their name. That is their logo, is these two gears. They didn't muddy it up with a bunch of text. Next you see Sam Ovens, was a big coach and consultant. I don't know if he is anymore. But you can see how much better his headshot. I mean, look at the difference between Sam Ovens' headshot and these, right? You got to come correct. If you're going to use a headshot, use a nice one. And his is probably a little bit more polished than what it needs to be, but it's professionally done. The lighting is good. The background is not distracting, right? We should not be distracting away from what's going on here. And then finally, this is one of my Facebook pages. This is the one time where I say that the text is okay, but look at how big that text is. Shop small. Okay, so we just did shop small with the little heart. I use a heart in both of these. Shop small with the little heart. When this is shrunk down, you can actually still read it, say shop small. Now, if I tried to put small shop discovery in there, it would get too cluttered. But the shop small is able to pop all by itself. So this is what we're trying to accomplish with the profile pic. Definitely go to the community, and when you've created a profile pic or you have ideas for the profile pic, just ask in the community and we can help and give you some feedback on whether or not your profile pic really pops. So the action steps, make sure you watch the next video, how to create a profile pic in Canva, and go ahead and update your profile pic. And if you're unsure after you've watched the video and you've created it, and you're ready to update it and you're unsure if it looks good, just post it into the Facebook group community, and we'll help you out with that.